The following is a live presentation of Retro Sports Network, home of the champions of the past, present, and or future. And hi there, my name is Ron Juckett. Welcome to the program for this 13th day of January 2022. Good morning or good afternoon or good evening, because most of you watch on YouTube anyway. And so we got ourselves, we think, a good one. We audibled out of Pittsburgh and St. Louis. Don't worry, you'll see a lot of the St. Louis Cardinals in this replay. However, we go north of the border to Olympic Stadium for the home opener for the Montreal Expos, because they face the hottest team in baseball. And it's not a Stefan joke, the hottest team in baseball. It's the Chicago Cubs. Because it is. The Cubs played their first week of games at Wrigley Field and went 8-0. This is on top of them winning the National League East last year. So they are the lone undefeated team. So you get the home opener for the Expo. It'll be Bryn Smith and Rick Sutcliffe. Good luck to the Frito Boy and Bryn Smith. So the Cubs 8-0, the Expos a decent trip. They went through Chicago, Philadelphia, and St. Louis. And now the Expos open up their home schedule with 10 against those three teams. So the Expos are 4-4, the Cubs are 8-0. Tomorrow we got the Indians and the Yankees for you. How about that? So it's baseball time here on Retro Sports Network. If you're ready, so am I. As Retro Sports Network presents Major League Replay 1985. Today from Olympic Stadium in Montreal, Quebec. It'll be the Montreal Expos and the Chicago Cubs. And today's game is brought to you by DigitalDice.com, the best darn podcast on the web for your sports simulation and replay needs. Find us today on Spotify, Spreaker, iTunes, or wherever else fine podcasts are listed. And episode 119 was uploaded yesterday. Dave and I talked about playing cross-era sports, or normalization, if you will. And we got lots of good comments about that. Bryn Smith gets a start for the Expos. I can tell you he hasn't pitched since we last had him on the stream, which was his complete game loss to the Chicago Cubs at Wrigley Field. Bryn apparently is the chairman of the Frito-Lay fan club here in the province of Quebec. He's 30 years old, a fastball pitcher at 85, and a ground ball pitcher. And in going the distance against the Cubs at Wrigley, he went 8 innings, threw 106 pitches, allowed 8 hits, 2 runs, both earned. I'm doing fine, Todd. How are you? He walked 1 and struck out 5. Not a bad effort. But the Cubbies shut him down, and here's a lineup he'll face this afternoon. Don't forget, Todd, Indian baseball for you tomorrow. None of this Guardian stuff. They go in to play the Yankees. The Yankees aren't very good, and the Indians are right behind the Red Sox in first place. Anyway, here's how the Cubs at 8-0 will line up. Todd B got his booster shot. Hope you are doing well with that. Bob Dernier leads off in center field. Ryan Sandberg will bat second and play second. Thad Bosley, who may or may not have his hair, is in left field. He'll hit third. Leon Durham cleans up at first for the Cubs. Keith Moreland in right will bat fifth. The Penguin, Ron Say, will bat sixth at third. Jody Davis behind the plate goes seventh. Sean Dunston at short will bat eighth. And Rick Sutcliffe is on the hill for the Cubs. He should throw about 130 pitches, and he will bat ninth. The Expos have to miss the Indians game. I put them on twice in the first 3 weeks. Timmy Raines is a 5 and a 9 and left for Montreal. Herm Winningham, who is also a new member of the Expo, is a 6 in center. Andre Dawson is 7 and a 7 in right. Tim Wallach, an underrated third baseman as far as I'm concerned, a 9 there. Hubie Brooks is a 4 at short. Vance Law is a 5 at second. Dan Dreesen is 6 at first. And Mike Fitzgerald, who still has his first chance now to take over for Gary Carter at home, is a 6 and a 5 behind the plate. So with all that, Bob Dernier digs in at 417 with 4 RBIs. Will the umpires be checking Sutcliffe for sobriety? Well, remember the drinking age in Quebec is 18, so maybe. I don't know. By the way, it's 26 here in Burlington. It's supposed to get to 9 below tomorrow night. So Dernier is ready, and so is Bryn Smith, and this one starts with strike 3. Smith got him, a 2-2 fastball, swung on and missed. And I bring up Ryan Sandberg. Man, is he red hot. He's 16 for 32. Even I can tell you that's 500. With 2 doubles, a homer, and 5 RBI. Smith's pitch is a little ground ball that will be fielded by Law over to Dreesen, and Sandberg is out by an eyelash. 2 out. And I don't think this wind is going to be that much. Well, no, we've got a wind chill advisory out for tomorrow night. It's a balmy 9 below 0 with no wind. Okay. And speaking of sobriety, how much brandy did you drink if you think 9 below is balmy? Here's Thad Bosley. Thad 1 for 4 in the 328 on the real replay, a real season, 7 homers and 27 RBI. The low so far this winter is when we were with you on Tuesday, and we hit 6 below. We will top that tomorrow night and into Saturday morning. Pitch to Bosley is a fly ball into left. Raines will go track that down, and that will retire the side. So the Cubs go in order. No runs, no hits, no errors. Here comes the Expos. No score. So for Rick Sutcliffe, 2-0 with an ERA of 1.65. He's already making his 3rd start. He'd only make 20. The defending Cy Young Award winner has faced the Expos. In fact, threw a 5-hit shutout last Sunday at Wrigley in a 10-0 game. Of course, it's easy to pitch when you have 22 runs of support in 2 games. Just saying. Against the Expos, he went the distance, 9 innings, threw 121 pitches, 5-hitter, and struck out 9. So don't mind that 8-8 and 3.18 ERA from his real year. He gets 20 cracks for the Cubs, and if he keeps doing that, they can maybe build up a lead. 16 1/3 innings overall for Sutcliffe, 8 hits, 3 runs, all earned. That came against the Pirates on the 9th. He has walked 4 and struck out 13 with an ERA of 1.65. 29 years old, the former Dodger, fastball pitcher and a flyball pitcher at 91. Good morning, John. How are you? 79 Expos, I think you got him in a greatest hits league. So, Todd, that would be tough. They broke out of their shell in 79, came so close in 80, and took advantage of the split season in 81. And, of course, don't know if you were watching when I did my 82 replay, Todd, but they won that World Series. Lineup heel face. Timmy Raines leads off in left field. Herm Winningham in center will bat second. Andre Dawson in right will bat third. Dan Dreesen at first cleans up. Hubie Brooks at short will bat fifth. Timmy Wallach at third will go sixth. Vance Law at second will bat seventh. Mike Fitzgerald, no relation to Edmund, behind the plate, batting eighth. And Smith, who had to smuggle back an entire suitcase full of Fritos. If you missed that, we'll explain that story in a bit. Will bat ninth. He threw 10 pitches of the first. Emotional time. Okay. Morning, everybody. Thad Bosley is an 8 range in left for the Cubs, but a 1 arm, which is the very definition of a ramen noodle. Bob Dernier is 7 and a 3 in center. Keith Moreland a 2 and an 8 in right. Ron Say a 4 at third. Sean Dunston a 6 at short. Ryan Sandberg is only a 5 at second. Leon Durham a 6 at first. Jody Davis a 6 and a 7 behind the plate. And Sutcliffe, not a bad fielder, a 7 range and a 972 fielding percentage. Raines steps in at 294. A homer, 2 RBI, and 4 stolen bases. Infield playing back. We're going to lay one down. Raines squares. Davis picks up. Throw to first. Sandberg covers, and Raines is out. So 1 out for Winningham. 190, a homer, and 2 RBI. I forgot who it was that brought it to my attention, but Bryn Smith. Well, we'll talk about that in a bit. Pitch to Winningham. Herm strikes out. So Sutcliffe got him at the knees on a 91-mile-an-hour fastball, and that brings up Andre Dawson. Slow start for Andre, 192 and an RBI, 5 for 26. 2 more years for the Hawk here in Montreal, 85 and 86, before he pretty much said to the Cubs, I will sign the check and you tell me how much you want to pay me. Dawson, line drive to Dunston, and that will retire the side. So 1, 2, 3 go. The Spoles. We go to the second, no score. So Durham, Moreland, and Say to face Smith here in the second. Durham, 280, 2 doubles and 5 RBI. John is listening to both of us at the same time. We might need to get an 800 number for you for help. Anyway, one of our smart listeners who watch this stuff live, Dawson won the MVP in 87 and got a lot of flack for winning it. I'd have to look to see who had more comparable stats. So Smith didn't like pitching in Montreal. 18-game winner in 85 and all that. And we were told why was that he couldn't find Fritos in Quebec. Apparently the man loves his Fritos. And remember, they go with lunch. Pitch to Durham. Leon swings into right field. Dawson will come in. 1 out. Winningham will take a look at his arm. He's a 5 out there, so he's average. So a 6 and a 5. Moreland, 241, a homer, and 8 RBI. Oh, it's so cold. DJ John complimenting us. It's amazing that you guys can spend 5 minutes talking about the weather and it's must listen. Did Dave talk about the fact that he was in his recliner? Kind of nice brand new couch. And the power went out and he got stuck? I was joking with him. I said you couldn't find the Domino's app to order some pizza. But yeah, they have all these smart couches now, and they're all battery powered and USB ports and blah 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 blah. But there apparently is no manual override. So if you're in that nice relaxing position, apparently we didn't. You can't get up. And I just thought he was just being kind of silly when he said it, but come to think of it, if you're reclined and that thing tilts quite a bit, you're comfortable, but you're stuck. Yeah, well, he likes to rag on me anyway. But yes, about getting up from under the banner, which hangs proudly on the wall next to me. Pitch to Moreland. Struck him out, so Smith got him on a 1-2 fastball looking. Here's Say, Ronnie at 367, 4 homers, and 10 RBI. Remember, Cubs are 8-0, the Expos are 4-4. We're playing the games of Friday, April 19th, 1985, the home opener for Montreal. Pitch to Say, Ron swings into left. Raines rides the Schwinn and will make the catch, and that will retire the side. No runs, 1 hit, no hits, and no errors. Bottom 2, no score. Midlife Crisis, of course, one of our better producers, says, I think going on memory, the argument was that Ozzie Smith deserved the MVP. Well, that was the year that, was it Tito Landrum hit the big home run for St. Louis to get past the Mets to win that division? I mean, this is the first of 3 years where the Cardinals and Mets were the fiercest rivals in baseball. Here's Dan Dreesen, 231, a homer, and 3 RBI. Pitch to Dreesen. Dan pops it up. Jody Davis takes off the mask, goes into foul territory, and makes the catch. 1 out. Hubie Brooks is hitting .300 with 4 RBIs, 6 doubles in early going. The argument at the time, and I remember, was that a last-place team should never have an MVP. And I think that's one that hasn't been settled. And so I think it depends on what... I wish Brad was here, because Brad's pretty good with these arguments. So what, in your mind, constitutes an MVP? Is it someone who is the best offensive player? Or is it someone that helps their team achieve above and beyond what they could have without him? And the Cubs were going to be cellar dwellers whether Dawson was there or not. Pitch to Brooks. There's a slow grounder to second. Sandberg on the plastic throws to first. And Brooks is out 2 away. Here's Wallach. Tim at 161, a homer and 2 RBI. I'm of the school, although I can be persuaded that team's position does matter. If they want to come up with the best offensive player, name it like the Hank Aaron or the Stan Musial or Ted Williams Award or something like that. I've always felt that the most valuable player should be the one that gives the most valuable contribution to his team. Then again, when Miggy Cabrera won the Triple Crown over Mike Trout a few years ago, Triple Crown's a big deal. I know analytics and sabermetrics kind of dampen some of that, but that's still an accomplishment and a half. Pitch to Wallach. Got him. So Sutcliffe there got him to swing and miss to retire the side. Todd, I read a story about George Hendrick that will make you like him. I read this on Facebook. It'll be Jody Davis, by the way, Dunston and Sutcliffe. Davis, 290, 2 homers, and 7 RBI. Apparently, George had a couple fans. Not you, obviously. Pitch to Davis. Line drive down the line and right. That's going to get extra bases. Dawson goes to get it right down the line, and Davis is kind of holding. Is he going to go for 2? Yes, he goes for 2. Is he going to go for 3? Nope, he's in the second standing, and that's the first base runner for anybody in this game. So that'll bring up Dunston. 391 and an RBI, and just because it's George Hendrick, you're going to have to wait to hear the story. Pitch to Dunston. There's a fly ball left center field. Winningham goes back to the track. Davis goes back to the bag and will hold as Winningham throws a bullet into third. 1 out for Sutcliffe, who really can't bunt. He's 2 for 5 on the year with a homer and 2 RBI. Ho, ho, ho. So Davis, who has almost no speed on second, they pitch to Sutcliffe, and he drops one down. Smith throws to third, and they're going to get Davis there. So that's a big oopsie. It goes 1-5 on the fielder's choice. The Ernie Banks Award, D. Scott Howard says, I like that. Best player on a losing team. Here's Dernier. He struck out his first time up. Bryn Smith is opening 9 on 26 pitches, 2 2/3 innings. A hit and 2 strikeouts. 2 out. Here's the pitch to first. Dreesen, and that will retire the side. So the bunt fails. Sutcliffe is left on. Cubs get a hit. Leave a runner on. Bottom 3, no score. I like that idea. It's Vance Law, Mike Fitzgerald, and Bryn Smith. So to get back to the George Hendrick story, I joined a Facebook group. I think I got it from Retro Sports Renegades or something like that. And so this kid George Hendrick was his idol. And I could hear the garbage can being retched into all the way over here from Todd's place. And so some kid batting practice or gets in the club. It had a reason to be where just the players were. And so he sees his idol, George Hendrick, and he's just too scared to talk to him, which I know Todd would not be. And someone says, George, there's your fan. And so George got up, went over to the kid. This is when Hendrick was with the Cardinals. And signed an autograph for him. And it was just a great interaction. Because the only thing I ever read about George Hendrick is how he spurned Todd as a kid. Which I don't doubt. Vance Law, 321, 2 homers and 6 RBI. Gets away from Davis on strike 3. The throw to first, and Law is retired. Brings up Fitzgerald. Mike Fitzgerald is not going to make anyone forget Gary Carter. He is hitting .083. 2 for 24, but the one of those hits was a solo homer. Sutcliffe is fan 3. That's a ground ball to Durham. He's going to underhand it to Sutcliffe for the out. Tribe fan is here. The Ernie Broglio Award for the worst trade of the year. John Lester to the Oakland A's for nobody would have been my vote a few years ago. But yes, I like that one too. We could call it the Razzies. Brendan Smith is 0 for 2, and with 2 out, he's going to swing. Sutcliffe winds and deals. Struck him out. That's 4 for Rick. Fastball in there for strike 3, and that will retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors for the Expos. Yeah, I would put Lester in the Hall of Very Good. There's not really a Cooperstown case for him. After 3, no score. But certainly in the Hall of Very Good. Ryan Sandberg, who's 0 for 1. Thad Bosley and Leon Durham. Dave Winfield to the Indians for a dinner. Chris Draper from Winnipeg to Detroit for $1. I still think my favorite trade of all time was Doyle Alexander to Detroit for John Smoltz and a player to be named later. And that player was Doyle Alexander. Helped out the Tigers an immense amount down the stretch. And the Braves get John Smoltz and Doyle Alexander. Pitch to Sandberg. Walked him. There's Bosley. Is it Thad or Tad? Anyway, he's 0 for 1. Sandberg on first. Top of the 4th, no score. Sandberg goes. Fitzgerald. I don't know what that was. Bosley swung. It was a hit and run, and that's somebody from NDG made the catch. No, Lester was an ace. Lester got the Sox a couple rings for sure. It's had. The T is silent. And they opined. Yep. Tribe fan says, don't get me started on the players picked in the NHL draft behind Tom Glavine. Glavine, of course, a hot hockey prospect from Massachusetts. Mr. Bosley. There's a line drive down the line and left. That will be extra bases. Sandberg will round third. Raines will skedaddle and get it, and Rhino holds at third. So Bosley gets his first double of the year. Cubs looking for their 9th straight. Here's Durham. He's 0 for 1. Leon swings a ground ball to Dreesen. Danny will concede the run, takes it to the bag himself, and it's 1-0 Cubs. So 1 out. Bosley on third for Moreland. Keith is 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Pitch to Keith. There's a line drive right at Wallach, and Bosley has to scamper back. Does he get there? Yes, he does. But oh my goodness gracious, Wallach had pulled a full Bobby Orr and caught that ball midair. before landing face first on the plastic. He got up, but Bosley was back. Oh, what a grab by Wallach. 2 out. For Say, who's 0 for 1. Hall of Fame ballots the other day, there's only 3. I think that were over 75. Ortiz, Clemens, and Bonds. But I think Clemens and Bonds will fall below the number. When do we actually open those up, by the way? And John gets to go back to work. Amazon says, get your tushy back to work. So you get to listen when you can, but delighted that we could help you recuperate. Say is 0 for 1. Pitch to Ronnie is a walk, ball 4. So Smith lost him 4 pitches out of the zone, and that was in tight. Second walk for Smith, and the computer is telling me that Smith is going to be missing the strike zone a lot. Jody Davis doubled his first time up. 1-0 Cubs here in the 4th. Davis. That's a base hit. That should be extra. Bosley will score. Say will round second. Will he stop at third? No, he's going to score. Raines could only keep it in the infield. That's the 4th double for Davis. And the Cubs, who are 8-0, are up 3-0. Well, John, I'm delighted that we were able to help you through. That's what we're here for, to entertain you through your brunch hours out on the West Coast. But yeah, Al and Dave and all the guys. Hopefully you didn't spend too much of that workman's comp money on cards. Vizquel had fallen like 10%, and surprising Sheffield was trending up. You can make a... I think Vizquel will be a vet committee, and so will Sheffield. Sean Dunstan's 0 for 1. Pitch. Got him. So Smith got him on an 0-2 fastball on the outside corner. But the Cubs explode for 3 runs on 2 hits. They leave a runner on. We go to the bottom of the 4th. 3-0 Chicago. And I forgot to do this before the game. So this is the standings up to the moment. Atlanta has won 5 straight, and they are in first place in the National League West. In the East, the Cubs have a 4-game bulge over Montreal, but they have yet to play away from home until today. Montreal 4-4. Mets and Cardinals, of course, will make up some ground. In the American League West, it's the Rangers. 6-3, a half game over Seattle and Oakland. So the American League West resembles the container of yogurt. The fruit will come up from the bottom in that one. And in the East, my goodness gracious, look who's in second place. JT Dutch is in hiding. The Indians are a game and a half behind the red-hot Red Sox, who have started 8-2. The Yankees, yeah, Tribe Fan, Dave, Al, Replay Gamer, Demos, Appa Brian, yep, all worthy of a high five. The Yankees started terrible. If you remember, 2-9, they fired Yogi Berra. They brought back Billy for one of his tours of duty, and they got back in it. So, although the Yankees are 5 back early on, you know they're going to come back. So, Sutcliffe is opening 9 on 37 pitches and 4 strikeouts. Raines is 0 for 1. Top of the lineup for the Expos, Whittingham and Dawson to follow. This time it froze. It froze. I can't advance the game. That's quite interesting. Um, well, I can't even. There's no delete the last play. Rules? That's what I'm looking for. We're going to try a restart. So we'll be back right after this. Don't hit the red button. The words to live by. All right. So we didn't lose anything, but I didn't didn't have to exit the game. So we're back. Whew. With a bunch of you watching too. So Reigns is 0 for 1. And that's a walk. That's not what Sutcliffe wanted to do by any stretch of the imagination. Brings up Winningham. Herm struck out his first time up. Can't really hit and run, and I haven't seen the percentage on Reigns. Reigns is back. Throw to first. Auto Save gets the Digitalized Player of the Game award. That's true. There is a good thing for Sutcliffe is drunk. Forgotten to throw the pitch. There goes Reigns. Davis will hold on to the baseball, and Timmy has his 5th stolen base of the year. No wonder why Sutcliffe didn't want to pitch. So he hasn't given up a hit. The walk to Reigns, and an 0-1 count to Winningham. Herm swings, and there's a base hit right field. Moreland will pick it up. Reigns will not go. He's at the border. They're checking him for Canadian versions of Molson Export and bags of Fritos. Here's Dawson. Andre is 0 for 1. So Sutcliffe, no hits over the first 3, and now he's got runners on the corners, and Dawson being the tying run at the plate. Pitch to Andre. There's a slow chopper to first. Durham. They're going to try for 2. Dunston for 1. Reigns will score, and there's no throw for Dawson. So it's 3-6 on the fielder's choice. And the Expos are on the board. 3-1 now. Here's Dreesen. Dan's 0 for 1. Sutcliffe wipes his hands. Throws to first. Dawson's not going anywhere. Now to Dreesen. Popped up, right side, Sandberg. Has it for the out. 2 out for Hubie Brooks, who's 0 for 1. So April 19th the date. Friday afternoon in Montreal. Opener for the Expos at home. Hubie's 0 for 1. He pops this one up third base side, running towards his own dugout. They scatter, but it bounces. And the count is 2-2. So Sutcliffe from the wine delivers, struck him out. He got Hubie on a fastball below the belt. Hubie looks back at the home plate umpire, and Stevie Wonder just sings him a song. The Expos get on the board, a run, a hit, and no errors. We go to the fifth, 3-1 Chicago. So it'll be Sutcliffe, who's 0 for 1, Dernier and Sandberg, to face Bryn Smith here in the top of the fifth. Chopper to the mound. Smith walks over, throws it to first, 1 out. Dernier 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Opening 18 for Bryn, 53 pitches, 4 1/3 innings, 3 hits, 2 walks, and 3 strikeouts. If you would have told Todd B. that Hubie Brooks drove in 100 like he did for the Expos in 85, I don't think you'd have been the only one that would have said no way. I think you would have had a majority consensus there. Pitch to Dernier. There's a chopper to third. Wallach hoovers it up. Throws to first. Dernier's on a hustle, and he is safe. He beat it out. So the bang-banger, Dernier just flew down that first base line. Here's Sandberg. Rhino is 0 for 1. He walked and scored in the fourth. In the left, Wallach goes by the bullpens into foul territory and will make the catch, 2 out. Come on, it's not Had Bosley. He played for the Indians. I know why you call him that. Mr. Bosley is 1 for 2. He doubled in the fourth and scored. Pitch from Smith. Bosley swings a ground ball to third. Wallach goes across the way and couldn't get Dernier. And is he going to get Bosley? Yes, he does. And so we're halfway home at the Big O, Stade Olympique. It's Les Cubs 3, Les Expos 1. So if you join us late, here's how we got here. Everything happened in the fourth inning. Leon Durham, a fielder's choice to make it 1-0 Cubs. Jody Davis, then a 2-run double to make it 3-0 Chicago. Andre Dawson in the bottom of the fourth in the fielder's choice to make it 3-1. Jody Davis, 2 for 2 with 2 doubles and 2 RBI. Sutcliffe throwing a 1-hitter through 4. He has struck out 5. Bryn Smith, a 4-hitter through 5 and gave up all 3 runs. He has walked 2 and struck out 3. Here's a fun one. Who holds the Expos single-season stolen base record? I'm assuming it's not Tim Raines. Tribe fan says, Sir Mix-a-Bunch music behind a Discover ad and a father and daughter enjoying McDonald's. Together. McDonald's and you. Don't you steal the toy from her Happy Meal. Ron LaFleur, and I forgot he was there. He actually stole more than Raines over a course of a season. I bet it is LaFleur. And so at one time, the city of Montreal had in its possession LaFleur and LaFleur. They both mean the same thing, and LaFleur stole 100 bases. Wallach struck out his first time up. Timmy hits a fly ball in the left. Bosley going back will make the catch, 1 out. I was trying to think of who they had later, but LaFleur did it in 80, right? Here's Law. Vance struck out his first time up. Sutcliffe is fan 5 so far. And he walks. So Vance, full count. Davis trying to frame it, but it was ball 4. John got ads for Mitsubishi with the AC/DC Thunderstruck soundtrack. Thunder. Here's Mike Fitzgerald. He's 0 for 1. That's right. Now, they weren't all there at the same time. But if you had LaFleur, and Rose, that's a sweet-smelling law firm. Pitch to Fitzgerald. There's a ground ball. Sutcliffe snares it. Sandberg for 1. No throw to first. Fitzgerald will beat it out. And so Law with a roadblock slide, 2 out. For Smith, who is 0 for 1 with a strikeout. And as with anything else, Charlie Hustle, there's just something about an Aqua Velva man. Pitch to Smith. Got him. That's 6 for Sutcliffe. He swung on and missed the change. We go to the 6th. It's still 3-1 Chicago. So the Cubs, looking for win number 9 on the year, will send out Durham, Moreland, and Say to start the inning. Would my mom appreciate the AC/DC music? No. No, she wouldn't. Or does Google know me so well? Mom will be 70 in June. So I think the sweet spot, I think, for that is probably 55 to 60 for AC/DC, wouldn't it? Beatles. She is a huge Beatle fan. 19 before LaFleur went to the White Sox. I knew that there was a stop between one of those things that kind of gets in the cracks of your mind. And of course, the Ron LaFleur story. Wasn't that LeVar Burton that played him? Pitch to Leon Durham. Durham 0 for 2. Struck him out. He swings and misses at a fastball. So I'll bring up Moreland, who's 0 for 2 with a strikeout. And of course, LaFleur really credits Billy Martin for his maturation into an adult. And in the movie, Billy Martin played Billy Martin. Pitch to Moreland. Keith swings a ground ball to short. Brooks across the way. And as soon as it gets to Dreesen, we'll say he's out. Now somebody's hurt. It's Bryn Smith. He's thrown 71 pitches. I think he's got a blister on his finger. He wants to stay in the game. So we'll let him for a bit. It'll be Ron Say, 2 out here in the 6th. Say has walked and scored. He's 0 for 1. Never used Dewey, Cheatham, and Howe in the law firm. Absolutely not. Unless you're the one chasing the ambulance. Younger, chatting about music. John went to the grocery store and heard Van Halen walking down the aisle. Yep, again, that would be much more years of my generation. And of course, to keep it baseball related, the Cubs used Jump as their theme in '84. To start the broadcast on WGN. Say in the left center, Whittingham will ride the bike and will make the catch, and that will retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. We go to the bottom of the 6th. It's 3-1 Chicago. So Sutcliffe starts his 3rd time through, opening 18 on 73 pitches in 5 innings. A hit, the 1 run. It was earned. He's walked 2 and struck out 6. Raines has stole his 5th base and scored. He's 0 for 1. Timmy hits a base hit this time. Dernier cuts it off, and Raines had the afterburners going, and he's in the 2nd with his 4th double of the year. So that brings up Whittingham, who really can't bunt. Herb has signaled and struck out. He's 1 for 2. Davis goes down to calm down Sutcliffe. And Whittingham punches this one into right. Moreland will pick it up. Raines has speed to burn, but with nobody out in Moreland's arm, discretion is a better part of valor, and Raines will hold. Todd B. has named Manny Machado as this year's George Hendrick Award winner. He is a 3-time recipient of the award. Machado has yet to send a trespass notice. Dawson is 0 for 2. Fielder's choice drove in his second run of the year. He's got a chance to pick up Raines off of third now. Nobody out, bottom of the 6th. He walked him. So Sutcliffe has him loaded for Dan Dreesen. Dan is 0 for 2. Raines on third. Whittingham on second would score on a hit. And Dawson on first. So Dawson is the go-ahead run. Dreesen in the left center field. Dernier going back there, way back there, but makes the catch. Raines should score. He will. It's 3-2. So a sac fly for Dreesen. 1 out. And that'll bring up Hubie Brooks, who's 0 for 2 with a strikeout. So Whittingham on second. Again, he has speed to burn and should score on a single. Pitch to Brooks as they cut off the crowd. Line drive to left. Bosley is there, makes the catch. Whittingham will not run. Bosley had to dive in to make the catch. Now Dawson may be napping off of first, and Andre is back. Bosley had to make a leaping catch, and Dawson thought Whittingham was going to go to third, and again, Bosley's arm is reminiscent of beef-flavored ramen noodle. Just as terrible. So 2 out, 3-2 Cubs here in the bottom of the 6th for Wallach, who is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Yep, jersey numbers on the sleeve. Television numbers is what they called those. The Cardinals did it in the late 70s as well. And the Tigers did it when they won the World Series in '68. Wallach in the left. Bosley going back. But it's a big park, and he'll make the catch. So Brent Smith feels better. They popped his blister. We won't show it to you. And they kept his hand dry. We go to the 7th, 3-2 Cubs. So Davis, who has doubled twice and driven into Dunston and Sutcliffe, to face Smith here in the 7th. From the wind, Jody line drive to short. Brooks snares at 1 out. Montreal got a run on 2 hits in the 6th. They've now left on 4. The Cubs have left on 3. Sean Dunston is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. But it makes sense. I'm surprised more teams didn't do the numbers on the sleeve. You see them on television. You know who they are. If you don't know the face, you can recognize the number. Ground ball to short. Brooks across the way. And Dunston is out on a bang-banger. 2 out for Sutcliffe, who's 0 for 2. Smith winds and deals. And Sutcliffe, third verse, same as the second. And it's stretch time here in Montreal. It's the Cubs 3, the Expos 2. Shelby Law, Fitzgerald, and Smith. Midlife crisis. Lived in South Texas in the summer of '84. Hopefully you were well stocked in Gatorade for living there. Oh man, I lived in southern New Mexico in '79-'80. Oh boy, 110 is hot. You didn't have cable, but you had WGN. Hey, Harry Carey with you. Watch the last couple innings of almost every Cubs home game after school. Local channels didn't carry the Astros or the Rangers, especially not on Sundays, of course, in football season. I can give you 2 words. Dallas, Cowboys. Whereabouts in South Texas? Down on the border? Law has walked and struck out. He's 0 for 1. Sutcliffe starts the bottom of the 7th with a fly ball to right. Moreland in the corner, and somebody from Laval made that catch. 1-2 the count. Yep, the 80s were great for superstations. New Mexico is gorgeous. It really is. It's brown, but it's gorgeous. We had where I lived with cable, we got, of course,
Braves win. Braves win.
WGN, WOR. So here we are in the middle of Red Sox country, we didn't even get the Yankee games. It was all National League all the time. Mets, Cubs, and Braves. I've never been to Montana. Montana looks good, too. Pitch to Law. Vance did what? Oh, he struck out. So we 1-2, and Law says something to Stevie Wonder, and Stevie says, well, you weren't the sunshine of my life. Yeah, New Mexico was worth it. The entire state is gorgeous. Mike Fitzgerald is 0 for 2. And he sends that one in the left center field. Back throws Dernier, and there is 2 out. So bottom of the 7th, 3 runs, 4 hits, no errors for the Cubs. They've left on 3. 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors, and the Expos have left on 4. Bryn Smith is going to stay in the game. He's 0 for 2. He has struck out twice. And this time he grounds one foul third base side. Jim Fry picks it up. Count as a ball and 2 strikes. Yeah, Yellowstone, of course, if you go into Montana. Pitch to Smith. Struck him out. That's 8 for Sutcliffe. A 1-2 fastball. Strike 3 looking. We go to the 8th. A dandy here at the Big O. 3-2 Cubs. So Smith is opening 27 on 89 pitches. 7 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs, 2 walks, and 4 strikeouts. Everything is earned. Dernier has singled and struck out. 1 for 3. To short. Brooks. 1 out. Here's Rhino. Rhino has walked and scored. 0 for 2. Todd wants to see Glacier Park. He thinks that's in Montana. Can't tell you off the top of my head if you're right or not. Pitch to Sandberg is 0 for 2. Little number behind the bag at second. Brooks snaps it over to first. 2 out. So here's Bosley. Has a double and a run scored. He's 1 for 3. Cubs trying to go 9-0 to start the 85 campaign. Expos, pretty good road trip. 4-4. Home opener for Montreal. Bosley. There's a base hit in the left center field. Past Brooks. Winningham picks it up and throws it in the infield. So that's the 5th Cubby hit. Leon Durham is 0 for 3. Drove in a run on a fielder's choice and struck out. And you don't get these kind of travel tips on your average fortnight stream. So Smith right at 100 pitches. Throws to Durham, and Leon draws the walk. So first and second, 2 out for Moreland, who is 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Of course, Smith batted to end the 7th inning. DJ John went last May on your honeymoon. 2-week road trip. She made you play the music, too, didn't she? Bosley on second. Durham on first. 3-2 Cubs top the 8th, 2 out. Moreland in the center field. Winningham goes back. Should have enough room, and he does. And the Cubs leave him stranded. No runs. A hit. They leave 2 on. We go to the bottom of the 8th. 3-2 Chicago. Ron needs to drive his virtual train through Glacier Park. Yeah, that'd be fun. There was a route for one of those train sims that went through some of the beauty of Montana. Hey, if it's good enough for Tom Brokaw. So Sutcliffe is opening 27, 108 pitches, 7 innings, 3 hits. He walked 3 and struck out 8. John says, I'm not sure about music, but Klingon ships, we've tried to find some of those. Raines has doubled. He's 1 for 2. He has scored twice, stole a base, and walked. They play back. Expos have been held to 3 hits. There's a fly ball to right. Moreland. 1 out. Brings up Winningham. Herm is 2 for 3 with a strikeout. Bottom of the 8th. Bobby Brady calling the play-by-play for you. 3-2 Cubs. They're trying to go to 9-0. Pitch to Winningham. Got him. That's 9 for Sutcliffe. He swung on and missed a 93-mile-an-hour fastball. So that brings up Dawson. Andre is 0 for 2. Drove in a run, a sac fly, and walked. The Rockies on a train, regardless of what side you're on. But the Canadian Rockies, worth it. Absolutely worth it. Probably not on your honeymoon because you actually want to see the outside rocks. Pitch to Dawson. Andre draws the walk. And that brings up Dreesen. Dan is 0 for 2 with an RBI. Dawson watched ball 4 high and away on a 3-0 count. Dreesen the go-ahead run. Dawson not a threat to steal, but Sutcliffe throws over anyway. Just 8 hits combined in this one. Yankees and Indians tomorrow from the stadium at noon Eastern, 9 Pacific. Pitch to Dreesen. There's a ground ball to Say. Let's see what Say does. He goes across the way to first, and Dreesen is safe. He beat it out. He beat it out. You'd think on the artificial surface that Say would have gotten a true hop. He knew he couldn't get Dawson at second, but he also wasn't all that fast getting the ball out of his glove. And so Sutcliffe looks over and does a little dance around the mound to calm himself down. Here's Hubie Brooks. Hubie's 0 for 3 with a strikeout. In the left center, Dernier comes in. The shutout will hold. The inning is over. The Expos leave 2 on and get a hit. No runs, no errors. We go to the 9th, 3-2 Chicago. So Smith will get a base runner here. Say, Davis, and Dunston. Say is 0 for 2. Has walked and scored. And Davey Lopes is going to pinch hit. Davey 1 for 8. Has not pinch hit this year. 284 on the real year. 11 homers and 44 RBI. Smith starts the 9th. Lopes with a base hit in the left field. Raines cuts it off. And Lopes, although he's 9,000 years old, still has speed. So nobody out for Davis. Jody has doubled twice and driven home 2. He is 2 for 3. Now has 9 RBI in the year. Todd and Mrs. Todd, not George Hendrick, took a 4-hour steam train trip, don't say that 5 times fast, in West Virginia on the Cass Scenic Railroad. Oh, I bet that was gorgeous. I bet that was gorgeous. Do they feed you as well? Fitzgerald and Smith get together. Lopes can steal, by the way. He'll stay put. Davis lines this one to center. Winningham goes back, makes the catch, and Lopes will hold 1 out. For Dunston, who's 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Throw to first. Lopes. It's an error. It got past Dreesen, and Davey goes to second. So Smith, towards the end of his run, couldn't find the first baseman on the pickoff throw. And Lopes goes in as the insurance run into scoring position. So Buck Rogers goes out to the mound and will bring in Jeff Reardon. So although this is not a save situation, he has 2 saves on the year. The Terminator, 30 years old, fastball pitcher, 89, the ground ball plus pitcher, has not faced the Cubs yet. His last outing was against the Cardinals on Wednesday. He went an inning and allowed a hit on 18 pitches. His 2 saves came against the Cardinals on the 15th in the Reds to start the season. So overall, 3 2/3 innings, 2 hits, 2 walks, and 4 strikeouts. And Todd says, yep, they stop about halfway home for a picnic, which they enjoyed with some teddy bears in their picnic. So Reardon, 2-8 on the real year, 87 2/3 innings, 68 hits, 7 homers, walked 26, and struck out 67. Here to get Dunston, and they'll see what we do with Sutcliffe. Pitch to Dunston. There's a ground ball right back to Reardon over to first, 2 out. So Lopes hanging on at second base. Now this game has been patched. We'll see what they do with Sutcliffe, although you could leave him in. He's pitching well. Nope, they're going to pinch hit. Richie Hebner. Richie hit a solo homer as a pinch hitter. And in his other at-bat, he went 0 for 1. So 1 for 2 on the year, a solo homer and a strikeout. 217 on the real year, 3 homers and 22 RBI. Reardon trying to slam the door and let the Montreal bottom of the lineup try to get that run. Pitch to Hebner. There's a ground ball to Wallach over to first, and Reardon does his job. So the Cubs cannot score. Lease Arthur Smith coming in. Cardiac time here. Chris Spire is going to play third. Spire, by the way, is a 5. They don't put Spire in the lineup. I'm assuming he bats 6th. And Smith will bat 9th. If the Cubs do bat again, that should be fixed. So Smith, 28 years old, a fly ball pitcher, a fastball pitcher at 95. Making his 4th appearance. He has a save. Hold on. Excuse me. His last appearance was against the Phillies on Wednesday. His first save, 2-inning outing, 30 pitches and 2 strikeouts. He gave up a hit. So overall, 4 1/3 innings, 3 hits, a run it was earned. That came against the Pirates on the 11th. One more tease. He has walked 1, struck out 6, and an ERA of 2.08. It'll be Wallach, Law, Fitzgerald, and they will pinch hit for Reardon if the game should go that far. So Wallach is 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Pitch from Smith. There's a base hit up the middle past a diving Sandberg. So the tying run is on for Vance Law, who has struck out twice and walked. He's 0 for 2. Smith saved 33 in 85 and is trying to get number 2 on a nice afternoon here in Montreal. Stay away from Emily. Too late for that, but she's not in here for the stream. Thank you, my friend. Pitch to Law. Got him. So he struck him out. Oh, 1-2 curve. Looked at for strike 3. So here's Fitzgerald. And Buck Rogers of the 38th century is going to take a look to see who can hit a righty. And the answer is Well, there's no picture there, but it's the toothpick man, UL Washington. 1 for 3, 249 a homer, and 17 RBI on the real year. He is the winning run. Smith will pitch. Washington into right field. That'll drop in front of Moreland, so the Expos have the winning run on. And 1 out. Wallach will hold at second. And now you got a pinch hit for Reardon. But the Expos have the chance. And by the way, the computer did put Spire in the game. So the next up, and who can hit a righty, is going to be Terry Francona. Terry is 4 for 16 on the year. It's 250 with 3 RBI. Wallach the tying run, and Washington the winning run. So anything down the line could win it. The Cubs guard the line. Spire and Durham are hugging the lines. 1 out, 3-2, bottom of the 9th. Pitch to Francona is into center field. Dernier will come in and make the catch, and everybody retreats back to safety. Wallach will bluff, but with 2 out, and that ball pretty shallow, he wasn't going to do it. So it's up to Tim Raines. The last chance saloon for the Expos. He has a double, 1 for 3, has scored twice, walked, and stole a base. Indians, Yankees tomorrow, noon Eastern, and if I don't get sick again, we will actually play the 49ers and the Rams on Sunday to finish our 1984 replay. So Smith and Davis go through the signs. 2 out, bottom of the 9th. Cubs trying to go 9-0. Here's the pitch. Raines, a ground ball to Smith. Over to first, and the Cubs are 9-0. Look out, 82 Braves. The Cubs are white hot. And Smith slams the door here in the 9th. So Jody Davis and autosave are our 2 MVPs of this one. Davis 2 for 4 with a double. 2 doubles and 2 RBI. Sutcliffe goes to 3-0 on the replay. 8 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs, both earned. He walked 4 and struck out 9. Smith was challenged in the 9th. He gave up 2 hits but got the strikeout and had the ground ball right back on the comebacker to get out of it. For Montreal, poor Bryn Smith. Again, he really doesn't deserve the loss, but he has to take it. 8 1/3, 6 hits, 3 runs, all earned. He walked 3 and struck out 4. And Reardon faced 2 batters and got him on 7 pitches. So the Cubs go to 9-0. Montreal falls to 4-5. Come on, screen. You can do this. You can. Okay. So the rest of the day in baseball, the Red Sox. All right, we'll see you tomorrow for that. Here's the rest of the scores. The Red Sox beat the White Sox 4-3. Mike Trujillo, of all people, 2-0. Britt Burns 0-2. Billy Buckner, a homer, 2 for 4 and 2 RBI. The Giants beat the Reds 7-2. Cincinnati's off to a 2-8 start. The Giants pound out 16 hits. Lasky 1-1. John Stuper falls to 0-2. Green 4 for 5. Yep, the Indians are white hot too. Phillies beat the Mets 3-2. Don Carmen, probably not all by himself, beats Roger McDowell. Aguayo 2 for 4. 3-2 the final at the Vet. The Tigers beat the Royals 9-3. Dan Petrie goes to 2-0. 7 2/3 innings, 2 hits, 2 earned runs. Brett Saberhagen takes a loss. George Brett, 2 solo shots, 2 for 2. Atlanta break up the Braves. They beat the Astros 7-2. Rick Mailer gets the win, 2-1. Nolan Ryan takes a loss. Dickie Thon with a solo home run. Cleveland beats Ron Guidry and the Yankees 5-3. Neil Heaton 2-0. Guidry falls to 0-2. Castillo 2 homers. He now has 3 on the year and has driven in 4. Baltimore beats the Blue Jays 5-2. Mike Boddicker with a win 1-0. Doyle Alexander with a loss 1-1. Don Asse with the save. Texas beats Milwaukee 10-6. Dave Rozema with his first of the year gets the win. Pete Vukovich falls to 0-2. He'll be pitching in Major League there. Curtis Wilkerson, thanks, John. 3 for 4, a triple and a double. Milwaukee, by the way, pounded out 16 hits in that loss. Pittsburgh beat St. Louis. That was the game we were going to show. Cecilio Guante. I was thinking of him the other day. He gets his first win. Joaquin Andujar falls to 0-3. I'm sure there's not a locker safe at Busch Stadium. John Candelaria out of the pen gets his second save. California in 10 over Seattle 5-4. Sanchez gets the win 1-0. Matt Moore takes the loss 1-2. Jim Presley 2 for 3. His second of the year. He drives in 2. Chris Cordioli throws a 3-hitter. Walks 1. Beats Frankie Viola 1-0. Cordioli 3-0. Viola 1-1. Lansford 1 for 3. Carney had a triple. And last but not least, Lamar Hoyt strikes out 5, walks 2, shuts out the Dodgers 3-0. Jerry Royce takes a loss. Pedro Guerrero 3 for 4. Early standings, the Cubs have a 5-game lead in the NL East. Atlanta won over San Diego, San Francisco, Los Angeles. In the American League East, Boston a 1.5 over Cleveland, 2 over Detroit, 2.5 over Baltimore. In the West, as we said earlier, it's kind of like the yogurt. Texas a half game up over Seattle and Oakland. California and Kansas City coming up. All right, there you go. It'll be the Yankees and the red-hot Cleveland Indians tomorrow. I'm Ron Juckett. We'll talk to you at noon Eastern, 9 Pacific. So long, everybody.